This is Financial Straight Talk with Jim Fox.
And we welcome you back into this week's edition of Financial Straight Talk alongside Jim Fox, the founder, president, and investment advisor representative with Wadadley Financial Group right here on the Space Coast. My name's Kevin McAlpin. Hope you're having a wonderful weekend. And of course, Jim and I thank all of our loyal listeners for spending part of it with us here once again on the show. So, Jim, you and I enjoy comedy as much as anybody out there. And you and I were just talking off air about the old Blue Collar Comedy Tour. It's hard to believe those guys still going strong all these years later. And man, each of those four different comedians, boy, they really found themselves a niche over the years, didn't they?
They really did. And you know what's crazy? Who was the fourth? So we know Larry the Cable Guy, Jeff Foxworthy, Ron White. Who was the fourth? I can never remember.
Bill Engvall was the fourth.
Yes.
There's your sign guy. You remember him?
That's it. Yes. But man, and my dad, now mind you, my dad used to sit there and look at the Billy Bass fish thing that would pop out on the wall. I don't know if you remember that. My dad would laugh at that stuff for 3 years straight. Like he would literally every time, I'm like, Dad, you know it's going to do that, right? He was like, this is the funniest thing ever. But boy, did they found their niche, man. They definitely did.
Yeah, they really did. Well, it's hard to believe Jeff Foxworthy, part of the Blue Collar Comedy Tour. He's now 67, and Jimmy says he's starting to kind of wind things down after a 40-year career in comedy. And recently, I thought this was interesting, found himself getting a little philosophical on the Bertcast. Take a listen.
In your 20s and 30s, everything you're going to produce, all the good stuff, tops out there. And the rest of your life, it's a downhill thing. And that doesn't mean your life is over at that point, because as you get further on, you become like a library. You become an encyclopedia. After 4 decades, there's a lot of shit I know about comedy. I'm not doing my best. And I said, I don't want to do a special because I don't want somebody going, crap, it's not nearly as good as the one he did back then. Not that I still can't write funny jokes. I know how to write jokes, but my best work is behind me. And I don't want it to be compared.
And Jim, I think we can probably compare that to a lot of our listeners when it comes to what they do. Maybe it's not a 40-year career in comedy, but when they think that their best years are behind them, maybe they are ready to enter that next stage of life into retirement. How do you sort of determine if folks are not only financially ready, but also that mental component of walking away as well? That's a biggie for you, isn't it?
It really is. And I mean, it's like you're sitting on a Zoom meeting with me from last week right now, because it's so funny. We sat down with a couple who he's slightly older than her, so he's had this clock running, right? And we have listeners right now, Kevin, that have an app on their phone or a desktop app that literally is a countdown to the number of days they have left before they retire.
Right.
And I've been working with him for a few years now, and his name's Vern, and I was like, Vern, I was like, you made it, man. He goes, I am, but Brenda's not loving it right now, because like Vern's excited because Vern's there, and we've done the math over and over and over again. All Brenda's thinking is, well, you're telling me in 13 days you're not getting a paycheck anymore? Right. Like we're broke. We're poor. Oh my God. She's like, and I was like, I get it, right? She's like, I know, I'm so freaked out. So we do the math, and guess what? They're actually going to have more money coming through the door because Social Security's taxed differently. Mm-hmm. And then their distributions from their investments get taxed a little differently. So they're actually going to have a net income gain in retirement, right? Mm-hmm. Right now. So they're making more net money than they were with him working. She said, doesn't make sense, and we're still poor, right? Because it's a psychological thing. And I know what you're saying. There are people right now that are listening going, he's wrong. When that door closes behind me, I'm never looking back. Yes, you will. Okay. Every single time. Because it's different when it's your bucket of money that is paying you. It's a different spin. Now, there are two types of people when they hit this moment, because the math part of this is so simple. Kevin, I can do this in my sleep. I can sit down and say, hey, John and Mary, this is where you're at. This is how much money is saved. This is what you need to live on based on all the market trends. Even if we had a 15-year down market, you're never going to run out of money because of this, this, and this. I can do that math until I'm blue in the face. Mm-hmm. But what I can't do is fix what happens in between two ears sometimes, right? And it's the way you look at things and the way you think of things. And some of my most intelligent, analytical people become super irrational into early retirement because they're like, oh my God, I left a $170,000 job. What was I thinking? I could have worked a few more years. My boss wasn't that bad, right? That becomes the story that we deal with. And so when we sit down and we look at this from a psychological standpoint, how can we make this couple, Vern and Brendan, this example, how can we make them feel comfortable? It took a while, but she finally got it. She goes, wow, this is unbelievable. And she goes, well, I guess when I retire, it's going to be even better. I was like, well, let's look at the numbers, right? And that was a little bit of a different story because now she was another big income earner. So it was a slight reduction in income there. But the point is, if you prepare yourself properly for retirement and you do all the legwork and you sit down and you really understand what it is that you want out of retirement, it's pretty simple to do. Now, let me just share with you the conversations I have with people because, in our office, Kevin, and on our radio show, we talk about income generation all the time, right? Because I feel like that is literally like to me, retirement is how much income is coming through the door for you, because isn't that what retirement really is? Income?
Yep.
Like, how can I look, if you can retire and not spend any money, let me know how that works, but it does not sound like fun, right?
Right.
So how do we generate income? The problem that I've been having over the past few months has actually been that people are leaning more heavily into, because of the uncertainty, right? I mean, we got 1 minute, we got Russia and the Ukraine, and the next minute it's Greenland, and the next, I mean, you can't, like, I politically and in this crazy world, you can't figure out what's going on from one day to the next, right?
Right.
So I have people that are calling me up like, I need to get another one of those annuities. And I'm like, no, you don't. Yes, I do. No, you don't. I like the guaranteed income, but we already got all the income you need, but I want more. Why? I don't know. It just sounds good, right? This becomes the story. Why? Because think about this. There are two things that sell. Two things that sell. This is true back when we used to watch commercials, Kevin, and this is true on the news. There's two things: sex and violence, right?
Right.
Or fear, right? Fear. Mm-hmm. What do you think we hear on the news all the time? Oh my God, this is, oh my God, that's happening. Oh my God, so we don't have to wait till 6 o'clock to see the news anymore. We just go to News 13 local or CNN or Fox or whatever it is. There's always something to feed that emotional response, sure. Right?
Yeah.
And that's what I tell my clients. I'll say, turn that stuff off. We have a plan. We built a plan. That plan is based on psychology, and that plan is based on mathematics. And if you need $16,000 a month coming through the door, typically Jim normally plans for about 18. Typically. And you know what? Then we have a whole nother bucket of money we don't even talk about. They could probably generate another $4,000 to $6,000 a month. Don't you think we've got this figured out? But the problem is that people have that disconnect. And I don't even want to use the word because our compliance is like, he's going to say it. I know it. We're going to catch him. He's going to say it. There's that word, right?
Yeah.
But I can't think of a better word, is we have this irrational fear of what's going to happen if I don't do this. Mm-hmm. Listen, how do you fix irrational emotional responses? By having a plan that makes sense. Do you understand, Kevin, that when we put a plan together and we get it all dialed in, I can actually take your portfolio and I could say, hey, Kevin, you remember how crappy 2008 and 9 was? You're like, oh my God, yeah, it was horrible, man. It was really 7, 8, and 9, but it's 8 and 9 where it got really gnarly, right?
Yep.
I can take your plan and I can shove it right in that same period of time. And when I put it in there, you go, what do you mean? My income's still the same and I did okay. I came through it. Yeah, because our plan is built on math.
Right.
Our plan is built around what you need. See, Jeff Foxworthy, he's reflecting back. And he's right. Man, he could probably write some good stuff, but he doesn't want to be compared to it. Listen, when you retire, you're putting that old life behind you, and now you're on a new chapter of your life, and it's about enjoying yourself. And so many people don't retire, Kevin. They work one more year and then another year. I literally had a lady the other day. She said, Jim, I'm hanging in. I said, how long? 9 months. I said, you're hanging in. I thought you hated your boss. Oh, yeah, they're evil. Satan himself is my boss.
Jeez.
I said, well, why are you hanging in there? Because I get my third quarter bonus. I said, well, how much is your third quarter bonus? She goes, $1,800. I said, so you're hanging in with Satan himself for $1,800. She goes, now that you said that to me, it sounds kind of stupid, doesn't it? See, ladies and gentlemen, that's what I'm talking about. If you're looking for a smooth, slick sales guy, man, I ain't your dude. It's that simple, right? But if you're looking for the dude who knows how to sit on a porch and preach the right language to get you to understand it's time to make some good decisions and enjoy yourself, that's where we're at. Now, am I that much of a good old boy? I wish I was. I truly do. But the reality is I'm a nerd math guy who tries to pretend like he's a redneck. That's the God's honest truth, right? I really am, okay? I'm a nerd with I'm a country guy with a jacked up truck who also drives a Tesla, right? So figure that one out for a second. But what we do is sit down and put together a plan that just makes sense for you. The plans that we put together for you is not the same plan we put together for your neighbor. That's important. We need you to understand that you're going to second guess. You're going to have emotional responses. You're going to be fearful. You're not going to be sure if you made the right decisions. You're going to have buyer's remorse. You're going to worry about how you're going to take care of your grandchildren to go to school. I had a client the other day call and ask, can I come to the house and teach their kids how to save money because she's worried. You're going to deal with all of this. Mm-hmm. But if you put together a plan, the one thing you don't have to worry about is, am I going to be able to retire in the way that I want to? That's what we're talking about. And the only thing you have to do, because Kevin, nobody else saying this crap on air. Right. Nobody else is talking to people like this.
Right.
Everyone wants you to call because I'm going to get you the greatest rate of return ever. And I'm going to put you in a place because I'm the smartest guy in the whole room. And just come see me. Right. Or whatever. No, that's a whole new voice. I don't know where that one came from.
I love the voices you come up with too.
But my point is, my mom and dad didn't get this.
Yeah.
And so many other people didn't get this. And they retire and they struggle and then they die. For God's sakes, I'm so sick of getting on the air and saying this stuff to people, Kevin, because I just want them to believe it because they think that it's just about selling something. All you have to do is pick up the phone and call. And you come into this office and we'll walk you through our plans. And I truly mean this from the bottom of my heart. If we're not the right fit for you, take the information, use the information, and be in a better position. I don't care. If you don't like me, for God's sakes, I don't want you around. But I want you to have the information. But there's somebody right now, somebody's thinking about retiring, somebody just retired. There's somebody not even sure if they can retire that needs this. And for some reason, because of idiots in my industry, they're scared to pick up the phone. And they don't know who to call. And they don't know what to do. And this is your opportunity. I'm telling you right now. I'm not going to say I'm the only office in the area because I don't know if that's a true statement. But I'm going to tell you based on my experience, we're the only office in the area. Come on, it's like, damn it, Jim, you did it. You're the only office that I know of that is all about giving you the power to make your own decisions and say to you, we don't care if you use this information elsewhere, but we want you to come in so you can get information to help you. All you have to do is call us. All you have to do is come in. It's a little bit of legwork. And every person hearing my voice should pick up the phone and call right now. Don't wait until next year. Don't wait till next month. Don't wait until 2027. It's all about now. Pick up the phone. Give us a call. My team's standing by. Come in. Take advantage of us. Use us. Abuse us, I guess. Really don't abuse us. I don't let that happen. But come into our office so we can help you. Don't end up like my mom and dad. And I live with it every day that I didn't know the things that I know now when I could have impacted my mom and dad's life so dramatically. Ladies and gentlemen, this is your opportunity. Pick up the phone, call us. 321-414-7526. Again, 321-414-PLAN.
You can hear the passion in Jim Fox's voice, along with some other guest voices he brings to the show every single week. But what obviously we're here for every single weekend on this show is to deliver you information, to give you an opportunity to sit down with Jim and have him help you start putting that plan in place for your retirement. If you've been thinking about it, maybe you've been tuned in for a while and you've been putting off making that call, put it off no longer. It's the start of a new year, and if you'd like to start 2026 by putting a plan in place for your retirement, maybe this is your year. You finally do walk away from the 9-to-5. Don't do it by yourself. Pick up the phone. Let Jim Fox and the team at Wadadley Financial Group help. We have teammates standing by right now at 321-414-7526. 321-414-PLAN, or online anytime at getfst.com. Again, getfst.com. Well, Jim, I'm glad to see your blood pressure has come back down to a normal rate. And before we run out of time on this week's show, sir, the floor is once again all yours for the final word.
Thanks, Kevin. Well, guys, every week, Kevin and I say the same thing. We know that you have tons of options when it comes to getting financial information, and we're just honored to be one of those resources. So like he said, if there's anything we can do, pick up the phone, give us a call. We're standing by to help you out. But with all that being said, on behalf of myself and Mr. Kevin Mack, I want to thank you so much for listening, and we'll see you next time on the Financial Straight Talk.
Thanks for listening to Financial Straight Talk with Jim Fox. To learn more, visit getfst.com.
Insurance products are offered through the insurance business Wadadley Financial Group. Wadadley Financial Group is also an investment advisory practice that offers products and services through Impact Partnership Wealth LLC IPW, a registered investment advisor. IPW does not offer insurance products. The insurance products offered by Wadadley Financial Group are not subject to investment advisor requirements. Investing involves risk, including the potential loss of principal. Any references to protection, safety, or lifetime income generally refer to fixed insurance products, never securities or investments. Insurance guarantees are backed by the financial strength and claims paying abilities of the issuing carrier. This show is intended for informational purposes only. It is not intended to be used as the sole basis for financial decisions, nor should it be construed as advice designed to meet the particular needs of an individual's situation. Wadadley Financial Group is not permitted to offer, and no statement made during this show shall constitute tax or legal advice. Our firm is not affiliated with or endorsed by the U.S. government or any government agency. The information and opinions contained herein provided by third parties have been obtained from sources believed to be reliable, but accuracy and completeness cannot be guaranteed by Wadadley Financial Group.